Okay, welcome to Excel spreadsheets. The first thing I want you to do is to open Excel, and I want you to create a new document simply by entering all the information that you can see on the screen. This information is also on your worksheet. So the first thing I want you to do is enter the heading into cell A1. A cell is referenced by, first of all, a letter and then by a number. So if I said go to cell D4, what you would do is go to column D and then down to row 4. And that cell there is called D4. So what you need to do is type your heading into A1, also the headings into A3, A4, A5, and all the headings into row 8 here that you can see. I also want you to enter the numerical values as shown in column B. Okay, now the worksheet also wants you to enter numbers under the column months here. So I can start doing that by just entering the numbers. So 1, enter, 2, enter. Now that's going to get pretty tedious if I have to keep entering numbers like that. So a really good thing that Excel does is it sort of looks for patterns and tries to continue them. So what I want you to do is to select the cells that have the numbers 1, 2, 3. To select the cell, I left click my mouse. Alright, so what I'm doing there is just selecting different cells. To select more than one cell, I need to hold down my left mouse and drag it down. Okay, so what I want you to do is to hold down your mouse and drag it down so that you select the first 3 months. Now what I want to do is I want to continue that pattern. So I want it to go 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now, just watch the mouse as I hover around here. You notice that it changes to a sort of thin cross, and then if I hover on this corner square, it changes to a thick solid cross. Now that solid cross means that it's going to copy what I have in those cells. So watch what happens as I left click and drag down. You can see that it's counting. So if I drag down and then release, what it does is it continues that pattern. Okay, now the next thing I want you to do is that you probably notice that the words have been cut off in my headings here. So what I want to do is probably make this column here a little bit wider, and I could make it really wide to fit in all the words, or another option is that I can what's called wrap my text. That means it will put the word loan at the top and amount underneath. So if I click on those 3 cells, because I want to word wrap all of those cells, and then come up here to where it says wrap text. So if I click that, what happens is my text is wrapped. Now you can't see that at the moment, but if I make that column narrow again, then some of my words have disappeared. What I want to do is change the height of those rows. So I can come over here and drag down. And then you can see that the height of my column has actually changed. The height of my row has changed. Now again, it's still a little bit narrow because some of my words don't fit in. So I just adjust it as I need to. Okay, that's starting to look a bit better. The other thing I need to do is this heading at the top. Now at the moment, that's only typed into my cell A1. There's nothing in B1, C1 or D1. But what I want to do is I want to spread that heading across those 4 cells so that it's nicely centered. Up the top here, I can see that I've got the Merge and Center button. So I'm going to click that. Okay, you can see what it's done is it's merged those 4 cells into one cell and it's centered my heading. Alright, I might want to make that a bit bolder as well, and even change the size, just like you would in a Word document. Okay. One other nice thing that Excel does is it adjusts the row height or the column width according to what's in your spreadsheet. So if you come up here to this left corner, this is a special button. When I click it, it selects the entire spreadsheet. Then what I can do is as I move across here, you'll notice that my mouse changes. So when it changes to a line with 2 arrows pointing out, that means I'm ready to adjust the width of my column. Now if I double left click that, it automatically adjusts my column width so that everything fits in nicely. So you can see the whole word balance owing fits in and accumulated interest fits in. Alright, I probably don't want those cells quite that wide, so what I'm going to do is change this row height so that it's a little bit wider, and then I'm going to wrap the text in there. I'm going to do it for all of those headings. So wrap text, and now I'm going to adjust those column widths. Okay, so it's a little bit nicer. Alright, the other thing you'll notice is that the 8,000 and 400 need to be in dollars. At the moment they're just numbers. So if I select both of those, and if I look over here, you can see that I've got a few different options. I want it to be in dollars, so I'm going to click dollars, and it changes it to dollars for me. My interest rate is a percentage, so I'm going to change that to a percentage. Now, what's happened here is that it's changed it to 1100%. Now, I don't want 1100%, I just want 11%. So I need to retype that one in. Okay, now another thing that you might want to do, just to make your spreadsheet appear a bit nicer, is I'm going to center everything. So I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to center everything. I'm going to center it according to its height as well. Okay, so that's all you really need to know about formatting that spreadsheet. So we're going to stop here, and I'm going to show you another little bit of information about how you enter formulas into Excel.